3 hams will certainly kill him. 3 hams.
3 hams will kill him. 3 hams will kill him. I shouldn't feed him. 3 hams.
Welcome to the Catboy Rants. Sorry about the webcomic this last week. I know we didn't have one out there. Things were a little bit crazy, but everything will be up and running this next week. I know we've been doing only 1 comic per week. I'm going to have 2 up for next week, and hopefully we'll keep that up. Tonight I'd like to go over something that I really haven't brought up about, and that is, of course, con experiences, convention experiences. Myself, I've been to quite a few. I like them. It's fun. You get to meet a lot of people, and some of the people you meet, you sometimes wish you would never meet them again. Other times you wish that you could have them around all the time. The second thing I'm going to talk about is just a little thing I've started watching recently, and I've noticed from a lot of the DC Universe cartoons, especially ones that tie in. One of my favorites, of course, being the Batman animated series, but it's just an interesting thing. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But for right now, let's get to convention stories. I'll start out with my first actual convention. It was basically SakuraCon. First year they actually had SakuraCon. I think it was year 2000. It was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Showed up with my friends from the WSU Anime Club. We got a van, rode all the way down there. All of us had our own nicknames. There was Mustard Dragon, there was Whiskers, there was myself. At the time I was called Zelos. I wasn't called Catboy. In fact, I hadn't even thought of anything like this before. I was just going because, hey, it was a lot of fun. Later, we started coming up with other stuff, but that was later. First convention we went in was held at the Doubletree in Seattle, and I learned about RPGs, and I learned about different anime, because at the time we had a lot of different anime at the convention, excuse me, for our club, but it was one of those things that, unless of course somebody knew about it, you weren't going to see it. And with the convention, you had video rooms going on all the time. You had all this different swag in the vendors hall. It was just wonderful. I remember going in there just spending quite a bit of money on stuff I probably should have never gotten, but as we all know, when you go into one of those places, you see it, you know you got to have it, so that's how it goes. The convention, I got artwork, I got a lot of swag, a lot of videos, some music. Unfortunately, almost all my music that I got from that is now gone. It was actually stolen out of my car. So we left on the Sunday at 4 o'clock after we helped the art room close up. We did that because some of our people had artwork there. We just wanted to help out. And then we went back to school. Second time I went to SakuraCon, it was 2001. You might see a pattern here. In 2001, it was a lot of the group from Anime Club, but we weren't really thinking about it that way. We were just thinking, oh, it's just our group. But we went in there. We didn't get a van. It was more or less, you come by yourself. But it was still going to be fun. I went up there in my pickup truck with a friend of mine. He was in charge of the video room. And unfortunately, I didn't know what actual hotel room we were in. Nobody told me. So I didn't have a room for that weekend. Which I learned something. And for a lot of you out there that have been to a lot of conventions, you know the term con survival. I was a con survival. I learned how to be a con survivalist at this convention. And that, which is, of course, you find food, you eat said food, and you hoard said food that you find. If you find something that will gain you monies or a place to sleep for a couple hours, you do that. That's what I did. I slept in the video rooms, way in the back, usually to places that were not doing very good anime. And I slept in hallways, stuff curled up in my body like this. I only had one change of clothes, which was my costume. Everybody loved the costume. If you're wondering what it is, I was dressed up like a Saiyan, complete with the tail. It looked like crap. Very much so. For those of you who are worrying and wondering, hey, should I go ahead and actually make a costume? Do it. It's a lot of fun. If you can buy pieces for it and create it together, that's good too. Do that too. Just don't do what I did. Get drunk, make your costume, stick it and then pack. Because I did that. I had my change of clothes, enough money for food and swag, and that was it. That's all it was. I learned my lessons, and I only have one picture from that entire time that I was there that was of me. And that's because I thought I was stupid. And I was stupid for doing that, but hey, you live and you learn. The next year after that, I went by myself. No longer was I with the anime club. I was still, considered part of the anime club, but I didn't go for 1 year. But when I went, I was by myself, had a room all to myself, and I learned something very important. That is, it's boring as hell to go by yourself. It is, honestly. Unless, of course, you have people that you know there, it is boring as hell. So that's what happened. I went, took a lot of pictures, and if you check out the website, there's tons of pictures from all the conventions I went to. But honestly, the biggest thing out of this was that I just went for the swag. And for years afterwards, that's all it was. It was just swag. I didn't care about anything else. I was going for the swag. Because I grew up in Yakima, and there was no way you could find anything good in Yakima. And you still kind of can't. There's a few places, Ron's Quinnibook, but really, you can't really find anything good anywhere around here. It's Yakima. Latest conventions I've gone to, I've gone with my wife, who she's playing Zelda right now, Skyward Sword. And we've had a lot of fun. We've gone to RadCon twice, which is a convention in Tri-Cities. It's more of a gaming sci-fi convention, but hey, it's still a fun convention. It's not an anime convention, but it's still one of those conventions you can go there and you can get some really good stuff. As well as, of course, meet some interesting people. A lot of fun. The first convention I took her with me to was SakuraCon. And I had an agenda when I went there. And what that was is I went there with some friends, and they helped me get everything set up where we were going to have we were going to go ahead and set up a nice little panel for the webcomics 101. I still do a lot of that. I do that at RadCon. I do that at a lot of the conventions I go to, just because I want to help people out to get their their webcomics up. With this one, I had set up so that some of the guys that were there were going to help me propose. Unfortunately, I didn't have a ring, but I had a few people to help me out and ask questions, and it was a lot of fun. I actually have that video up on YouTube. If you want to find it, it's the Catboy Proposes, set to our music, our song. So you probably can't hear what I'm saying, but that's all right. It's the feeling behind it. We haven't gone to SakuraCon since, just because of finances. But I want to take her to either NorwestCon or SakuraCon, just because those are the big conventions, and I know she'll get a kick out of it. Sorry, I had to take a little break. The camera I use only gives me about 12 minutes to do what I need to do. So that's why we have that little stop every now and again. So, the biggest thing that's ever happened to me at a convention was I went to SakuraCon one year, and they were having the voice of Roy Folker and Tommy Yoon were going to be at the convention, and it just made my day, because I'm a big Robotech fan, Macross, Robotech, what have you, and I went down there and they had an ice cream social. So I got to eat ice cream with Tommy Yoon and the voice of Roy Folker. I got stuff signed by them. Thought that was freaking awesome. The only bad part about it was I was so struck by what was going on and who I was talking to and all that, that I just totally forgot what I was doing. I sat there with my friend, with Tommy Yoon and them, just not really doing much other than just, you know, looking and gawking. I was a fanboy. I am a fanboy, but I was acting like the worst fanboy around. I just, yeah. But it was alright, because, hey, it was Tommy Yoon, and it was just, I walked up there, they said, Ken, what would you like? I didn't know what I wanted. I just said, I'll take that. That sounds good. They gave me ice cream. I think it was strawberry. I can't remember to this day. I got hot fudge on it and a bunch of other stuff. Again, to this day, I don't know what I got. All I know is that I had ice cream. I don't know if it tasted good. I don't know if it tasted bad. All I know is I had ice cream and I got to stand there with Tommy Yoon. And I just freaked out. So that's my little story. And I got a copy of Robotech, well, it's Southern Cross, for free. Because I knew what Henry Global's first name was. Of course, it's Henry. I also got, and I'll show a picture of it later, but I also got a signed cell of by Tommy Yoon from the displays they did for the Macross figurines, which if you don't know about these, they're freaking awesome. So yeah. I used to have some, gave them up, but that's all right. Did it for a good cause. Now, I knew I was going to tell you guys about like the DC Universe stuff, but really, after thinking about it, I'm not going to go into it. I'd like to talk more about something else. But we'll go over the DC Universe thing a little later. I mean, one of the biggest things I've always found about it is that for some reason they always make the Flash seem like some college kid that just doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, even though of course he is a scientist. Batman is always seen as the Batman. And those of us who are Batman fans, yeah, we know. Batman is Batman, and that's the way it goes. Yeah. But Superman is always the Boy Scout. Wonder Woman is always Wonder Woman. It's just one of those things that, you know, we all understand, but at the same time hate about the series. So I don't care about it too much. Of course, I'm a big Batman fan when it comes to that, but I like to actually see other characters in it a little bit more. Namely, I like to see a smart Flash. I like to see Batman treating himself more like a person than the Batman. But that's all I'm really going to get into on that one. I don't really need to get too far into it. What I would like to bring up is just a little something that's been on my mind a little bit. Just because I've been watching a little bit of it, and that is the cartoons that I've seen. That, I mean, Netflix just put on a lot of the stuff from the old cartoon, which is cool. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like that. That's a good idea. But the only thing I don't like about it is usually with like a lot of the ones that, of course, we all watched. It was the cartoon was like Billy and Mandy and what have you. But I'm not a big fan of some of the other stuff that's out there. I wish I was sometimes, but you know, not really. Cow and Chicken. I want to see more of the Venture Brothers, because come on, it's the Venture Brothers. Venture Brothers is freaking awesome. You know, go Team Venture. But I would like to see more of that. I would like to see more of the stuff that was on Adult Swim. Squidbillies. But with those cartoons, I mean, especially the Adult Swim ones, you got to see more. Like I said, it's Adult Swim, more adult humor with it, which is great. But at the same time, you're getting poor quality animation. But that, again, that's all right. That's the way you go with it. because it wasn't about the animation, it was about how it was done, the story, the jokes. And some of them, yeah, they're crass, but some of them are just downright funny. And you go with it. I also like watching, as I brought up in the previous one, He-Man, the old style He-Man. Sometimes the new style He-Man if I'm in the mood for it. But old style He-Man, just because it is kind of funny to see Prince Adam in that pink shirt, pink vest shirt. It's just interesting to see that was considered to us manly. I can't believe that we actually did think that was manly, but again, hey, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Maybe the pink vest will come back, okay, and maybe we'll all like sit with our butts in the air or with our arms, you know, like this all the time. I hope not, but you know, maybe we will. Come on, damn it, that was just damn funny. Of course, Thundercats, those of you who have actually seen Thundercats know about Thundercats. But, you know, I'm splitting hairs on that one. You're kind of probably wondering two things. One, why is it a little bit darker than it usually is? And two, why am I wearing this? Well, for one thing, it's a little darker because I didn't want to move the light, and it's a little bit later, so usually I would have some light coming from the windows, but it's just the light from over here and the light that I have over here. Also, I'm trying not to do too much because my lovely wife is playing her game, and I don't want to bother her too much. I do have ideas for this later on. I really want to see if I can get any feedback on the whole idea of bringing in the other character, as you saw last week. Don't know if you guys liked him or not, but I think he'll be a good addition to the rant. As I always say, you got to go out there and make some, got to laugh, find all the funny stuff out there. I know tonight I'm going to have some fun because well, it's Friday night, the mood is right, it's time to play some RPGs. Especially tonight we are going to play Serenity, Firefly. I'm the pilot, and as my captain asked last time, we were wondering if there was a planet that had cocaine on it. And the GM went ahead and checked, and so of course there's a planet with cocaine. And so we asked, would the planet be full of cocaine? She said, sure, they would sell cocaine there. So we had a lot of fun with that, especially since we decided we wanted to go to the planet of cocaine. So she kept on making sure that we wouldn't go to the planet of cocaine. But with our last bit, we ended up near the planet of cocaine. So I have decided that if the captain will let me, we will go and we will go to the planet of cocaine, get some cocaine, because the captain wants cocaine. This is a hell of a drug, if you know what I mean. I'll tell you more next week. as well as, of course, I have something to bring up to a lot of people. It's a movie that a friend of mine showed me, and someone used it to their advantage when we were playing the game of life. I like it. It's a good video game movie. I consider it that. A good geek movie. And if you haven't seen it yet, why not? Until next time.